such power, there is no precondition. So when he has got no precondition, how can he pretend to exercise the power? He couldn't punish, he can only recommend. Of course, one particular member who questioned exaggerated a bit for impact. I suppose that the speaker is like a loudspeaker. In many ways it's true. But the speaker is only a person who controls the procedure of the assembly. He does not control the substantive matter of the assembly. Never at all. So it is a question of procedure.
Thank you, Datuk.
My only comment is this: under Perlembagaan Negeri Perak, this is what it is spelled out in the Perlembagaan Negeri Perak. I'm very sorry, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. I just go by the law and I read to you. This is what it says in the Perlembagaan Negeri Perak, that Artikel 28 Perlembagaan Negeri Perak menyatakan, and I read in English unfortunately, the legislature of the state shall consist of His Royal Highness and one house, to be known as Dewan Negeri, dalam bracket Legislative Assembly. So the clear reading of these words shows that the legislative power rests with His Royal Highness, and the house is the one that gets it done. Jadi speaker di sini is merely, maybe not like a loudspeaker, but he take charge. Sebab tu dalam perintah tetap Dewan Undangan Negeri Perak, Artikel 89 menyatakan, perintah 89 menyatakan that keputusan Tuan Speaker berkenaan dengan sebarang tafsiran adalah muktamad, dan Tuan Speaker boleh dari masa ke semasa mengeluarkan keputusan berkenaan dengan perkara-perkara ini. So to say speaker is a loudspeaker is maybe slightly incorrect, but then to say that the speaker is above all is further not correct. Jadi bagi saya, with respect to this, ialah whenever, in fact, kalau tuan-tuan lihat sampul surat yang dikeluarkan daripada pejabat speaker, like any other sampul surat, kalau kita deal with the government, dia akan cakap di situ urusan Sri Paduka Baginda. Why? That you are acting under the powers of the Sultan. So to say that the speaker is above all, tak betul. That is my stand. That is my stand.
Can you go to the?
I forgot, but can I respond very quickly to you on one point?
I will answer that.
I think then we'll ask Dato' Farizam, since you directed it to Dato' Farizam. I will answer you very directly. Why can't you go back to the assembly and let the floor test be done? It cannot be done because we are no longer playing cricket, because 10 person has been systematically killed from the Barisan Nasional by unlawful means. Now they exercise unlawful means to disqualify 10 people. What is the use to go back to the state assembly when you know that this unlawful means is meant to defeat you from the very beginning? So what's the use? Now the Sultan.
Terima kasih. Thank you.
The Sultan, mind you, people have forgotten. I say that people have forgotten the role of the Sultan. In one of the articles, there are 5. They describe it in Malay, pancoran, which is fountains. One of the fountain of the Sultan is the fountain of justice. When he exercises his prerogative powers, he obviously realized that to go back to Parliament or to a state assembly would not be fair, because they have systematically removed 10 persons unlawfully.
So, Moderator, can I just...
Yeah, please.
I think in all fairness to the lady who raised the question, I think the point of time that she has in mind is before Dr. Zamri was appointed as the Menteri Besar. Why didn't the Assembly convene and the necessary motion being taken to see who enjoys the confidence of the majority? I think that is the question she has posed. And I want to clarify here that the Speaker, of course, is not above the law. But what I'm trying to say is, bearing in mind the doctrine of separation of powers, the mistakes of the Speaker or misdeed of the Speaker, if any, the correction or the punishment must be done in the Legislative Assembly itself. And there is provision under Article or Rule 89 of the Standing Orders to say that it can be done by way of a substantive motion. What the Speaker did can be reversed. There is not without remedy. If I may read, the decision of the Speaker upon any point of interpretation of any of these standing orders or upon any matter of practice shall subject to a substantive motion moved for that purpose be final, and the Speaker may from time to time issue rulings thereon. There you are. We have remedy, we have checks placed on the Speaker in the standing order itself.
I think I may have missed a point. Yes, I have to answer Puan Shanti's question. That why is it that when there was a change of government from BN to Pakatan Rakyat, there was no vote of confidence taken. Firstly, Datuk Shafee in his keynote address has stated that it took Perak almost 2 weeks to get a new Menteri Besar. And the only answer that I can say, I may say this is very biased, is that maybe Barisan Nasional accepted that Tuanku in his wisdom, and as what Datuk Shafee has said, the fountain of justice, has decided to appoint Datuk Sri Nizam as the Menteri Besar, and maybe Barisan Nasional has accepted it to be that, well, we may have been defeated by virtue of the Pakatan Rakyat. In fact, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan may have heard about the issue of Pakatan Rakyat, if I may, is actually not a registered society like Barisan Nasional. Barisan Nasional is a registered society and we have a registered address, but rather Pakatan Rakyat is actually a coalition, like a joint venture where we go and get projects. I am a civil engineer, you are a mechanical engineer, let's form a joint venture and bid for projects. It is different if we are a company registered. So there is also one issue. This is what I heard 1 year ago about, if you look at the single largest party, actually BN should have been appointed. One representative from BN should have been appointed as the Menteri Besar, because DAP, PAS dengan PKR are not contesting under one banner like the Dacheng in BN, right? So, but to answer your question, Puan Shanti, is that maybe they accepted it as gentlemen or maybe as gentlewomen or whatever, that we may have lost, so we take it. So the issue sekarang here ialah that Pakatan Rakyat now has lost confidence. Why can't they take it on a gentlemanly manner also? Now, to answer soalan Cik Muhammad Razali pasal berkenaan tentang the 7th of May. Now, dalam perlembagaan Perak, it is stated here that the Sultan must exercise his power according to law. And one of the law here is that there must be a day one sitting within a period of 6 months. So it is our position, the Barisan Nasional Lawyers' position, is that if you do not have a sitting within 6 months, the day one will have to be stand dissolved. So that is why we are pushing for the Federal Court to resolve. Otherwise, we would have actually happily, gladly fight it from the High Court. We go to Court of Appeal because then I can get more fees. But because of my timeline, which is on the 13th of May, I have to put my fees issue aside and trying to make sure that my client can go to the day one. Now, Datuk Shafee has very bluntly said that 10 of us have been systematically removed. Now, imagine kalau YBC Bakumah did not suspend Zamri and the 6 Exco, did not declare the third Adun, the 3 Adun seat to have become vacant. We would gladly go to the day one because we would have 31 against 27, tuan-tuan, not 28. Why? Because the speaker, when he sits on his speaker chair, he cannot